Hello. Thank you for joining us. If you are ready to learn about mental health checkups for the caregiver, you've come to the right place. Without further ado, let me tell you a little bit more about who I am. But before we do that, I want you to know we have a disclaimer. We are not giving any medical advice. So if there's something that you hear that you want to apply, feel free to do so. But definitely partner with your doctor to see if this information is best for your situation. Okay. So who am I? I am a caregiver, an author, podcaster, writer, and media correspondent. I am the mom of twin girls, and I've been a wife for 14 years. One of the greatest awards that I've ever won was the WeGo Health Award for advocating for another. I am so thrilled to be able to partner with WeGo Health, and I look forward to being a representative with them. Okay, now is the time for you to grab a pen and a paper if you want to jot down some notes, because I'm going to share some resources that you will definitely want to remember. Today's talk is specifically for caregivers. And so caregivers who are taking care of loved ones who have sickle cell disease, this information is for you. So who is a caregiver? We're going to define it. We're going to talk about what is the role of a caregiver, identify and clarify what that role entails. We're going to share what resources are available for caregivers, sharing real, practical resources. All right, so who is a caregiver? The NAMI Alliance for Mental Illness, NAMI, the National Alliance for Mental Illness, called NAMI, defines a caregiver as a person who assists others who are unable to adequately care for themselves. What is the role of a caregiver? To be responsible for the physical care and emotional support for those who are unable to care for themselves due to illness, injury, or disability, a condition that affects major life activities. So there are two words that really stood out, actually four: physical care and also emotional support. So as caregivers, we are often very concerned about the physical care of our loved ones. And we invest ourselves in them emotionally, but sometimes that can leave us weak and dry and lacking. And so while we're filling up someone else's cup, we also have to discuss how we need to fill our own cups and make sure that we are practicing self-care and taking care of ourselves so that we can, in fact, take care of others. As caregivers, it is our duty to be healthy, whole, and alert. We know we can't let that guard down, right? We need to recognize that in order to care for others, we have to make time to care for ourselves too. Can we make time for self-care? I know it sometimes feels like it's a tall order and it's not something that we can attain. But today, I really want to talk about this, and I want to get to the root cause of how we can make time for self-care too. Because the short answer is, if we want to be able to assist our loved ones, we have to take care of ourselves. So how do we, in fact, take care of ourselves? Some of us have never had an example of what it is like to take care of yourself. Many of us Our moms was a caregiver. Her mother was a caregiver. Her mother's mother was a caregiver. And often in the past, caregivers just saw themselves helping others, and they rarely thought about how they could help themselves. And so I feel like it's important to really kind of delve into how do we actually take care of ourselves? We are often experts. Now, you may not be a mom, you may be an auntie, you may be a dad, you may be a cousin. You know, a caregiver, they come in all different forms. And so it's important for us to understand that one of the best things that we can do as caregivers is to take care of ourselves. And that starts with knowing thyself. You got to know who you are. You have to take time to evaluate your own needs and desires, and when possible, schedule alone time. My daughters are 12, and this has been one of the hardest lessons that I've had to learn, because it feels like when you are taking care of yourself, your time is divided. And it's important not to feel guilty when you see about yourself too. And so you have to make time, even if it's just a few moments of alone time, that's important too. You have to prioritize a healthy lifestyle. I know I want to be around to see my daughter as she grows into an adult. So that means there are some things that really are important when it comes to taking care of yourself and being healthy and really applying a healthy lifestyle to our own life. So, what does that entail? Sleeping. I know you're working hard, trying to get your errands done, trying to get things done, looking after people, and it feels like you don't have time to sleep. Here's the thing: sleep is not optional. As humans, we have to get sleep so that we can function. So your sleep may not fall when everybody else's sleep falls. You have to get in your sleep when you can, because everybody's caregiving situation is different. So if your child is in the hospital and you need to stay up and pay attention to what the doctors are doing, that's understandable. But definitely, if there comes a time when you need to ask, you may have a friend and you may have someone you can ask to maybe sit with your child for an hour or 30 minutes. Even if it's just 30 minutes, some of you, it may only be 15 minutes. But if you are able to kind of just take an ease and take a break for 15 minutes, that could be very important. So you want to ask and be specific with those that you love about what you need so that you can carve in time to get some sleep. The next thing you want to do is eat a diet that consists of whole foods. I know you don't have time to cook. Here's the thing about fruits and vegetables. Many of them, you can enjoy them raw. Just wash them well and eat them. But non-processed foods are going to help you have more energy. There's a quote that I like that says, it's from the Harvard Health Blog, and it says, eat plants and lots of them, including fruits and veggies, whole grains in unprocessed forms ideally, seeds and nuts, and some lean protein like fish and yogurt. Avoid things made with added sugars or flours like breads, baked goods, cereals, and pastas. I know I love pasta too. And minimize animal fats, processed meats, sorry, bacon, and butter. I'm not saying that you can't have those things. It's just that you want to eat them in minimal amounts. So you want to make sure that your whole diet doesn't consist of those things. The next thing you want to do is drink adequate amounts of water. I know you're always telling the person you love with sickle cell disease to hydrate. But guess what? You have to hydrate too. As humans, we need water. Our bodies are made up of water. So it's not something that we should take for granted. We have to hydrate too. The next thing is exercise. I know you don't have time to exercise. It feels like exercising is out of reach. But even if you just lay down on the bed and you do some crunches, or you do sit-ups, or you stand beside your bed, do maybe some jumping jacks or touch your toes, you gotta find something to do to stay active. That is one of the signs of taking care of yourself. I know during the COVID pandemic, it's been so hard to exercise because gyms have been closed. But here's the thing, it may be a walk to your mailbox or a walk to the end of the block that helps you get some fresh air and get out. Yes, getting fresh air is important. It helps to refresh us and cleanse us. And sunlight is important. Did you know that sunlight is actually a giver? Yes. We receive vitamin D from the sun. It's so cute because the vitamin D vitamins are sometimes called the sunshine vitamin. And that's important. We need sunshine. We need vitamin D. It helps boost our immune systems. The next thing we need to do is connect spiritually and emotionally. There's a lot that you take on as a caregiver. So even if you are not a religious person, taking time to maybe pray or meditate, or practice mindful thinking or positive thinking, do affirmations, those are the type of things that will help ground you and center you. And you know, it's something that we can take for granted, but it's something that we shouldn't. Because being quiet and making sure that we kind of let go of things that may be stressing us out, it's important. It can also help us to better problem solve and look at the situation objectively and make better decisions. So it's not something that we should take for granted and overlook. Partner with professionals. I know we always are trying to make sure that our loved ones make their doctor's appointments, and sometimes we forget about making our own appointments. But your health matters. And that includes your dental appointments. It includes your eye doctor appointments. You got to make sure that you're taking care of you so that you can be around to continue to take care of your loved ones. When things are getting a little bit overwhelming, you got to talk to somebody. It could be a mental health professional, like a therapist, a counselor, a spiritual advisor, or another trusted professional. But definitely don't try to carry all of the weight on your own shoulders. Talk to other people. Even if you have a friend that you trust, talk to somebody. All right. We already talked about it just briefly, but you gotta practice self-care. Yes, self-care is a popular buzzword right now, but it is something that's important. That's why it's so popular, because for years, so many people have neglected self-care. But we know that self-love and self-care are directly connected. If we want our loved ones to love themselves, we gotta model that for them. So, how do we start to establish a self-care routine at home? We have to speak up and ask for what we need, set boundaries when necessary. Oh, yes, there's that word, boundaries. I know. It's hard setting boundaries because we're givers by nature. We want to help everybody and fix everything, but it's just one of us. We can't be everything for everybody. And so, when possible, we have to delegate. We can't do it all. It's just a fact. So, here are some self-care tips I wanted to share with you. Reach out to your own mental health providers for telehealth visits. Yes, you don't have time, you're doing a lot, but now one of the really great things about experiencing the pandemic, and I know it's so weird saying great things about it, but it has opened up more digital health services. And it has allowed us to get some visits that are actually quality visits through telehealth and telemedicine. So utilize those. Let people know what you need. Talk to your healthcare providers. Set boundaries with colleagues, family members, and friends. Sometimes it's not the person that we're caring for that's stressing us out, it's other people. And we got to set boundaries. Don't allow negative people to change your thinking and change your day and change your vibe. Don't allow that. It's okay to take a break from toxic people. Yes, you have permission. Unplug from social media periodically. Okay, I am so guilty of this. But it's so easy to just grab my phone when I wake up in the morning and check in with everybody else. But some days, it just is too much. You see the highlights from everybody's life and you wonder, it kind of can change the way you feel about your own life. And when you are facing that sort of situation, it's time to put the device away. Next, listen to music or podcasts that uplift you. All right, so podcasts are my thing. My favorites are Therapy for Black Girls, Hey Girl by Alex Elle, Opinion Not Fact by Shamanica Wiggins, The Cleverly Changing Podcast. Yes, The Cleverly Changing Podcast, shameless plug. That's the podcast that I do to support homeschool families. Dance. Here's the thing. If you want to release stress, release tension, and loosen up, dance. I'm not a good dancer, but sometimes the dancing is the exercise I need in order to get up and move and just feel better. Dancing and music can change your mood. So get in the vibe and do it. Drink herbal non-caffeinated teas. Sometimes I know you feel like you need to pick me up some energy, and there are all different types of teas that can really help you feel more energized and just help you feel refreshed. Here are a few other resources that I wanted to share with you, and that is some places you can go if you need help. I live in Maryland, so many of these resources are, I guess, native to Maryland, but there are some national resources that I will be sharing as well. The Maryland Family Caregivers Support Program, and you can really just type in and Google the titles of these resources to find out more information about them. The National Resource Center for Supported Decision Making, disability.gov, the U.S. federal government's website on disability programs and services nationwide. It provides information and resources for family caregivers. Guardianship and Its Alternatives, a handbook to Maryland law. Maryland Disability Law Center, a mandated protection and advocacy agency that provides free legal services to Marylanders and all types of disabilities. Learn about home care options, local commissions on aging in Maryland. And there's a book that I highly recommend to you, and that is I'll Take Care of You, a practical guide for family caregivers. That is a resource that you really should take a look at, especially if you want to learn more resources that are available for families. All right. We were just talking about self-care tips, and I wanted to share some other tips with you. Take deep breaths. So, yes, taking deep breaths can actually make a world of difference in your life. The VA.gov states deep breathing is a good way to relax. We don't always remember to breathe deeply. Most adults breathe from the chest, which is known as shallow breathing. When you breathe deeply, your body takes in more oxygen. You exhale more carbon dioxide, and your body naturally resets itself to a more relaxed and calm state. So, right now, I challenge you to take 10 seconds to breathe deeply. That wasn't so hard, was it? It goes by very fast, but just doing it for a few seconds means a world of difference. We talked about the importance of prayer, meditation, and mindfulness. We talked about the importance of exercise. You can do yoga, walk, download a free exercise app. I know Nike has a free app, but there's also other apps that will tell you what exercises that you can do in your house. Recite Bible verses or Bible promises. They can really give you energy. Watch a comedy show. Yes, a show that makes you laugh is not something that you should ignore. Laughter does good for a person just like medicine. Go to the spa, get a manicure or a pedicure. You can journal, write your thoughts down. There's a quote that I like about journaling, and it's from clinical psychologist Beth Jacobs, and it says, writing for emotional balance. She wrote this in her book, Writing for Emotional Balance, and it says, journals are like a checkpoint between your emotions and the world. Sometimes we are angry and in a rage, but we don't need to lash out at the people that are around us or our loved ones. We can write it out. We can put those angry emojis in our, you can have a digital journal or you can just draw it. It doesn't mean there's a right or a wrong way about journaling. The whole point is to get in touch with your emotions and express yourself. There is something else I want to kind of touch on, and that is create a gratitude jar. It's so easy for us to think about so many things that aren't going right. But if we took a few minutes or a few seconds to jot down things that we're grateful for, it can really change our perspective. If you are a person who writes, you may want to, write letters to your loved ones. You may want to visit or Skype in with your family, but connecting with people can help you. It can be a form of self-care where, sure, you're communicating with others, but it can help you kind of change your perspectives. There's a saying that hurt people help hurt people. Well, it's also true. People who want to be helped help people. So giving of yourself and serving others can actually help you as well. So those are just some of the things that you can do for self-care. Now, here are a few other resources, more of the general resources. Check with your insurance first. For therapists within your network, dial 211 or the NAMI helpline if you want help finding a free and affordable mental health care in your area. The NAMI helpline is 1-800-950 NAMI, which is 6264, is open Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. through 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Connect with your child's school if you need additional resources for them. If your child needs more tutoring, you let the teacher know. If your child needs something tangible in order to complete their work, say something and let them know. Check with your library for other resources. Look on Psychology Today. The Child Mind Institute also has resources that are available for your children if they need to talk to someone. Talk to your child's doctor about support groups that are available in your area. And definitely visit the sicklecellconsortium.org site and go to their COVID-19 section to find out more information about what resources are available right now during this pandemic. All right, so I mentioned earlier when I was introducing myself, I mentioned that I am an author. I actually wrote the book, a sickle cell coloring book for kids, and I wrote it for my daughter, but I quickly realized that it was something that all families could benefit from. And so if you are interested in the book, I definitely have the book available on my website at cleverlychanging.com/shop. If you are interested in a bulk discount, feel free to email me at cleverlychangingpress@gmail.com. That's cleverlychangingprss@gmail.com. And I will get in touch with you about a bulk discount. If you have any questions about this presentation or you just want to connect with me, please feel free to do so. My website is cleverlychanging.com. I also have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/cleverlychanging, facebook.com/cleverlychanging, instagram.com/cleverlychanging. Hey, I am making myself available. So if you want to connect, I am happy to connect with other caregivers. And I wish you the best and much success. Bye now.